At first, everybody says, oh my God, that's how human trafficking starts. It's a myth. So I'm here to share a little bit about my story, but also to break some myths. The first myth I want to break is that all human trafficking victims are kidnapped. There is only 1% of victims that are kidnapped. The definition of human trafficking: it's a modern-day form of slavery involving the illegal trade of people for exploitation or commercial gain, second only to drug trafficking as the most profitable form of transnational crime. Human trafficking is a hidden crime as victims rarely come forward to seek help. The fear of their traffickers, language barriers, and/or fear of law enforcement keep them from coming forward. Traffickers use force, fraud, or coercion to lure their victims and force them into labor or commercial sexual exploitation. They look for people who are susceptible for a variety of reasons, including psychological or emotional vulnerability, economical hardships, a lack of social safety net, natural disasters, or political instability. The trauma caused by the traffickers can be so great that many may not even identify themselves as victims or ask for help, even in highly public settings. And so my story is this. I grew up in a very abusive home. My father was physically, emotionally, and sexually abusive. He would tell me all the time that I was nothing and that I would never be anything. But here I stand.
All right.
I learned at an early age to equate sex with love. And so I searched for love, no matter what the cost. And the cost was my soul. The cost was my life. The cost was my purity. The cost was my self-esteem. My cost was shame and guilt and self-hatred. For 20 years, I never told anybody that I lived the life of prostitution for 5 years. I thought it was my fault. I thought I made that choice. But who grows up and says, it's my life's dream to be a prostitute, a porn star, or a stripper? Nobody. Sex trafficking can happen to anybody, whether you grow up in church, whether you come from an abusive background. All the trafficker has to do is find your weakness. What is your weakness? What is your kid's weakness? Trafficking happens to boys as well as girls. What are their weaknesses? What are they lacking? Men, it's time for you to stand up as real men and teach our boys what a real man is, and teach our girls how a man is supposed to treat a woman. Women, stop degrading each other. We are not B's and H's.
All right.
We are children and beautiful princesses of the Most High God.
All right.
It is time to teach our little girls to value themselves, to value who they are, and to value their purity. Human trafficking. The average age for human trafficking is 12 to 14 years old. What are your kids doing? Who are they hanging out with? Who are their parents?
All right.
Are you just letting them go anywhere they want to go? They don't run it. You do. I want to tell each and every person in this room, I have been through almost 38 years of trauma. I'll be 50 in April. I know I look good though. But I have to give the glory to God. Because thank God I don't look like what I've been through. And if you don't think that there is true love after domestic violence, after human trafficking, after trauma, after rape, I am a living testimony because I have one of the most amazing husbands that has ever walked this planet.
All right
I have not been the easiest woman to deal with because of all my trauma, but he has loved me through it. So I'm going to leave you all with this. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are unique. Walk in your uniqueness, and you are worth so much more.